Hi, good morning, Kinder Kids. Today I thought I might read you a story. And this one's quite unusual. You can see it behind me because it's really big. It's a really big book. So sometimes when we might be reading the pages, you won't always see my face reading the story, but you'll be able to listen to my voice because the book is so big and the pages are huge. Let me turn around and I can tell you what this one is called. This book's called Wilfred McDonald Partridge. And this book was written by Mem Fox and Julie Vivas. Let's get in there and have a look. There once was a small boy called Wilfred McDonald Partridge. And what's more, he wasn't very old either. His house was next door to an old people's home, and he knew all the people that lived there. He liked Mrs. Jordan, who played the organ. He listened to Mr. Hopskin, who told scary stories. He played with Mr. Tippet, who was crazy about cricket. He ran errands for Miss Mitchell, who walked with a wooden stick. We can see it there. He admired Mr. Drysdale, who had a voice like a giant. You see him over here pulling up his trousers. But his favourite person of all was Miss Nancy Allison Delacour Cooper, because she had 4 names, just like he did. He just called her Miss Nancy, and he told her all about his secrets. One day, Wilfred Gordon heard his mother and father talking about Miss Nancy. "Poor old thing," said his mother. "Why is she a poor old thing?" asked Wilfred Gordon. "Because she's lost her memory," said his father. "It isn't surprising," said his mother. "After all, she is 96. "What's a memory?" asked Wilfred Gordon. He was always asking questions. "It's something you remember," said his father. But Wilfred Gordon wanted to know more, so he called on Mrs. Jordan, who played the organ. "What's a memory?" he asked. "Something warm, my child, something warm." He called on Mr. Hopkins, who told him scary stories. "What's a memory?" he asked. "Something from long ago, me lad, something from long ago." He called on Mr. Tippet, who was crazy about cricket. "What's a memory?" he asked. "Something that makes you cry, my boy, something that makes you cry." He called on Miss Mitchell, who walked with a wooden stick. "What's a memory?" he asked. "Something that makes you laugh, my darling, something that makes you laugh." He called on Mr. Drysdale, who had a voice like a giant. "What's a memory?" he asked. "Something as precious as gold, young man, something as precious as gold." So Wilfred Gordon went home again to look for memories, to look for memories for Miss Nancy, because she had lost her own. He looked for the shoebox of shells that he'd found long ago, last summer, and he put them gently in a basket. He found the puppet on strings, which made everyone laugh, and he placed that in the basket too. He remembered with sadness the medals his grandfather had given him, and he laid them carefully next to the shells. Then he found his football, which was as precious as gold. And last of all, on his way to Miss Nancy's, he went into the hen house and he took a warm, fresh egg from under the hen. Then Wilfred Gordon called on Miss Nancy and gave her each thing one by one. What a dear, strange child to bring all these wonderful things, thought Miss Nancy. Then she started to remember. She held the warm egg and told Wilfred Gordon about the tiny speckled blue eggs she'd once found in a bird's nest in her aunt's garden. She put a shell to her ear, remembered going to the beach by the tram long ago, and how hot she had felt in her button-up boots. Looks like she took her boots off so she could feel the sand with her toes. She touched the medal and talked sadly of the big brother she had loved, who had gone to war and had never returned. She smiled at the puppet on strings and remembered the one she had shown her sister and how she had laughed with a mouth full of porridge. You can see her over here playing with her sister with the puppet. She bounced the football to Wilfred Gordon and remembered the day she had met him and all the secrets they had told. And the two of them smiled and smiled because Miss Nancy's memory had been found again by a small boy who wasn't very old either. And that's the end of the story. Oh, come back in. Did you like that story? It's one of my favourite ones. Anyway, I'll go and pick some more and I'll see you soon and we can read some more. Bye, Kinder Kids. Bye.